And if you can show the jury that she's lied, juries don't like liars.
No matter what happens, this is a damning quote.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds just got exposed. And it's a total disaster? The courtroom spectacle they orchestrated? Yeah, it just went up in flames, and Judge Lyman is having none of it. Fake witnesses, shady legal stunts, everything is out in the open now.
Juries don't like liars. Trials are about credibility. Trials are about the truth, and juries want the truth. And if you lie to them, they will hold it against you.
Blake Lively really thought she could waltz into court, sprinkle in some fancy legal talk, shed a few dramatic tears, and walk out victorious. Yeah, that plan backfired spectacularly. At this point, she might as well swap careers and start a bakery because her credibility, it's completely destroyed.
She wants different rules for her than she wants for Baldoni and his team, which I don't think the judge will agree with because that's not fair.
Judge Lyman, who deserves an award for patience, finally shut this whole charade down, calling it exactly what it is, a PR circus, not a real case. Blake thought she was running the show, but guess what? The only person getting played here is her. This entire legal stunt just blew up in her face like an overinflated balloon.
You know, of the 92-8 split, which is 92% of cases settled and 8 don't, this does meet criteria of being within that 8% because it's intensely personal. It's getting more personal. They're going to discover more information that's going to make them angry. They're out to salvage their reputation, so there's not going to be an easy way to walk away from this and say, okay, let's just call it a day.
And just when you thought things couldn't get worse, boom! A leaked audio recording from Hollywood powerhouse Ari Emanuel drops, and let me tell you, this is the kind of smoking gun lawyers dream about.
I think there could be some argument about whether it was leaked and shouldn't have been leaked and should they have the information or what it may be, but no matter what happens, this is a damning quote.
Emanuel, one of the biggest agents in the industry, casually revealed that Justin Baldoni wasn't blacklisted for any wrongdoing. Oh no, he was iced out because of his associations with the wrong people. And by wrong people, we mean Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, the couple who thought they had Hollywood wrapped around their fingers.
This dispute, these words that were said by Lively's side had a clear, immediate negative impact on Baldoni's career.
Let's break this down. Baldoni's former agency, WME, completely dropped him, not because of solid evidence against him, but because Blake and Ryan knew how to pull strings behind the scenes. And now, thanks to this leaked audio, it's not just as speculation anymore, it's fact.
But what I think we're seeing now with this quote is WME absolutely got rid of him because of these things that were said. And so now he's got a clear line to get damage support.
Judge Lyman now has hard proof that Blake and her team were actively manipulating the industry to destroy Baldoni's career. That's not just shady, that's legally damning. Her entire case, built on lies. Everyone sees it. Judge Lyman, the lawyers, and probably even her own PR team, who are definitely considering a fast exit strategy right about now.
So I think this is inching towards that percentage of lawsuits that don't settle. We could very well see a trial in this case.
Oh, and here's where it gets even juicier. The Freakonomics podcast episode featuring this explosive Emanuel audio mysteriously vanished. Suspicious much? When a podcast episode that exposes Hollywood corruption suddenly disappears, you have to ask, how much power do these people actually have?
And so if you have somebody who has a significant amount of power in the industry and has the ability to tell stars not to go on your podcast in the future, and has general ability to make life uncomfortable for you and ask for a favor, you're more inclined to do it, right?
But here's the catch. This time, they failed. The audio is already out, and now, Baldoni has a clear legal path to sue for damages. This isn't just a PR nightmare for Blake anymore. This could turn into an actual defamation lawsuit that buries her.
Yes. Does he have the power to do it? Yes. And I think a lot of people who are even a lot less powerful than Ari Emanuel would have the power to do that. So that doesn't surprise me at all.
Let's be honest. Blake Lively's real talent isn't acting in movies, it's acting in court. If there were an Oscar for Best Actress in a fake lawsuit, she'd sweep every category. She rewrote her own story so many times, you'd think she was a high schooler trying to finish a last-minute essay.
Just from a PR standpoint, if they both struck an agreement and walked away, that would be the smartest thing. Because it's not going to get it was never going to get any better from Lively after when she filed that California Civil Rights Division pre-complaint, right?
Her initial complaint was already absurd, but then, magically, she started remembering new details. Suddenly, her case grew into a 180-page novel. For context, most lawsuits of this nature, around 20 to 25 pages. But Blake? She turned hers into Lord of the Rings, the legal edition, thinking if she dumped enough nonsense in there, no one would read closely. Spoiler alert, they did.
Okay, so I was able to read the amended complaint, which, by the way, it's very abnormal. It's almost 180 pages, 400 and some odd paragraphs. Complaints are not normally that long, but this one has to be for public consumption.
And guess what? Legal analysts shredded it to pieces. Turns out, the majority of her lawsuit isn't even about legal claims. It's media manipulation wrapped in legal jargon. When you need 180 pages to prove something happened, chances are, nothing happened.
It kind of makes them look like they're trying to take that video, now that it's out, and kind of spin it in a different direction.
And here's the kicker. If even one lie is found in her testimony, the entire case can be tossed out. And guess what? She's been caught multiple times. When this finally goes to trial, her credibility is already 6 feet under.
Her testimony won't even count. And that is that's a harsh reality, because if the jury chooses not to listen to anything she has to say, she's the best witness in this case.
But instead of backing down, she doubles down. Every time she's exposed, she comes up with another ridiculous excuse. It's like watching someone dig a hole, realize they're stuck, and then just keep digging faster. Even Hollywood, a place where celebrities get away with everything, is looking at this and saying, yeah, this is embarrassing.
That shifted the narrative, and she could have walked away and probably had a PR victory just off that document. Now, I think with the lawsuit going and both sides firing guns at each other, I think it's not going to get any better for either of them.
And poor Ryan Reynolds. The man must be mortified. He spent his whole career building a reputation as Hollywood's funny, likable guy. And now, he's knee-deep in one of the most humiliating legal disasters in recent history. And just when Blake thought things couldn't get worse, lawyer Brian Friedman steps in and wrecks her argument in one brutal sentence. Just because they're celebrities, they think there's a different law that applies to them. Translation: sit down, Blake. You're not getting VIP treatment in court. You can almost hear her legal team sigh in collective defeat. They've tried everything. Fake evidence, bribery, playing the victim, and every single attempt has flopped spectacularly. Now, there's another name floating around in this drama, and it's Stephanie Jones, Blake's publicist. And let me tell you, people in Hollywood do not have good things to say about her. Word on the street is that she's a super vindictive publicist who has been stirring the pot, making things worse for both sides.
I've said it, I feel like there is a villain in this story, and it's allegedly, I'm going to say it, is Stephanie Jones, who I've heard nothing but bad things about. A very, very vindictive publicist who I do think was confusing the waters and getting both sides to think things were happening that weren't.
You think this whole mess is just a misunderstanding between Blake, Ryan, and Justin? Think again. Stephanie might be the one behind the scenes, making everything 10 times messier. Rumors are flying that she was confusing both sides, fueling the fire, and making this drama way bigger than it needed to be. And just when you think it can't get any dumber, Blake's team pulls the most ridiculous accusation yet. They're now claiming that Justin Baldoni is too nice. Yes, you heard that right. Their latest desperate attempt to take him down is accusing him of toxic positivity. One of the complaints? He asked employees to sign off emails with so much love. Seriously, imagine taking legal action because someone was too nice in their emails. It gets even worse. Another scandal they dug up? He gave clothes to homeless people and filmed it. Yep, helping the less fortunate is now a crime. We have officially entered the Twilight Zone.
Here's a quotation from that article. It reads, "But to some observers, his public gestures, such as filming himself giving clothing to a homeless man or asking employees to sign their emails with the phrase, 'so much love,' it felt performative, aimed at self-branding as much as bringing about genuine change." One employee says, off record, quote, "It was constant positivity all the time. I would say toxic positivity," end quote. said one former Wayfarer staffer.
Even Candace Owens chimed in, dragging Blake's entire case by saying, "Imagine living in a world where you can sue someone for being too nice at work."
I don't know, guys. It's a hit piece of sorts, right? Like, imagine a world where you can report someone for being too nice.
At this point, Blake and Ryan have thrown millions at this legal disaster, trying to control the narrative. But no amount of money can erase reality. That's the problem when your case is built on lies, manipulation, and Hollywood power plays. Eventually, the truth always comes out. Legal analysts already suspect that the messages Blake and Ryan are desperately trying to bury contain serious Hollywood corruption. Because let's be real, if those texts helped Blake's case, she'd be the first one demanding they go public.
So it really is an impactful and powerful piece of evidence that's going to go against Lively, and that's why her deposition is not going to be pretty. And if I were her attorney, I'd want to get out of this case before she has to sit for deposition.
This isn't just a lawsuit anymore. It's an expose on how Hollywood elites manipulate the system. But the problem for Blake and Ryan, it's too late. The damage is done. No matter what tricks they pull next, their credibility is shattered beyond repair. And honestly, they did this to themselves. So what do you guys think? Is this the end of Blake and Ryan's reign as Hollywood's golden couple? Will Baldoni get the justice he deserves? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more juicy gossip. Trust me, you won't want to miss what happens next in this Hollywood showdown.